back to my channel. It's your girl here, Abiola Adefe. Remember, you can call me Abiola by Grace, Abby, or Abiola. Okay, so today is another time on Conversations. Yes, I have a guest here, and we're going to be chatting together. You guys can already tell by our name. You can see our name already. So you guys just join me to welcome Damilola Fadulu to my channel. Come, Dami. Oh, yes, I'm so glad to have you here with me today.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you
yeah.
so much. Can you just introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey, so my name is Damilola Fadulu, but
Yeah,
people call me Dami Fad.
Dami
Okay.
Fad, that's true. That's what we call you.
Okay, so I work in a bank. I'm a banker.
I see you're at work even. Thank you so much for
Yeah, I'm
willing
at
to do
work.
this during your break time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, backstory again. Dami and I went to the same secondary school. Just imagine
Yeah,
every now
yeah.
we've been together, like we've been, keeping contact with each other. So today, you guys can tell by the topic, we're talking about how to transition, like our transitioning journey, especially Dami's own, transitioning from singlehood to married life, because Dami is happily married. Thank you,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna be sharing a few things. And what's the purpose of this topic? Is to let people know, and this is more like a follow-up to my previous video on love language. I shared how, my first 3 months into marriage, I thought my love language was this. Past, it was something else because I was, practicing, everything I say I know or I love to do and the likes. So
Yeah.
so Dan is just going to be sharing our journey with us, just to encourage and to also, let young people coming behind us to know that these are the changes, these are things that happen, and it is normal. And also she's going to tell us, give us tips, things that we can learn. Even me, I'm going to learn from Dami, because me, I love to learn from everybody. So yeah, so Dami, over to you. So how was the first few months, not even year, the first few
Hmm.
months of being married, definitely different. You're coming to live with somebody that, yes, you love him so much and the likes, but now
Hmm.
you're living together. So how was it for you?
Okay, so it was actually not easy. Because we are from two different backgrounds. I'm the firstborn, is the lastborn, and
Yeah.
you know that you have to firstborns are always in control. Like
Uh-huh.
you need
Uh-huh.
to do this, you need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it wasn't easy because of my work. I had to like wake up very early. I had to cook food. It wasn't easy
Mm-hmm.
at all. The first few months, we actually didn't fight, but I think our first fight was bed. I like my
Like,
privacy so much, and I'm the kind of person that I don't like when the light is on. And when I see someone that puts on the lights, I'm like, God, why would you put on the lights
mm,
to sleep? So from there we started our fights, but along the line I had to understand that okay, this is the kind of person. Then our space, I like my space so much. And when someone comes in and wants to know about me, it was pretty difficult for the two of us, but we had to blend along the line. And it
mm,
went pretty well. But for the first year, oh, my dear sister, oh God, it was a fight back to back.
yeah.
Like,
So how were
so
you
this is
able
all
to handle
marriage
it?
is.
How were you able to handle it, without, there are some people that they'll tell you after the first year of marriage, that's the end. They just break up. So, and with our own generation, people are too quick to, please, I'm
Yeah,
done. This
yeah.
is not it. So how are you able to, do things in a way that, even, yes, we are in the millennial age, no matter what, you're still able to, cope with the changes, the differences, because I'm sure you two didn't know certain things about you that, oh, so my wife is like this. You two are like, okay, my husband is like this. Okay, I don't like this side of the bed, this and that. So what were the things you did that helped?
Okay, so the first thing is, I think one has to understand that if you're going to enter a marriage or if you're going to enter a relationship, you have to put God first. Because despite the whole thing, it's important to let God be the number one in the relationship. Because we are humans, a lot of things can tend to happen, but it takes God being able to put it together. So we were able to manage it in the sense that whenever I had issues, my husband on the other side is not the kind of person that get angry easily, or like me that I flare up at any little thing. So what he does is
I
he
think we,
tries as much.
sorry to cut you. I think we ladies are the ones that, flare up easily. Because I'm the one,
We
I'm
flare
like
up
that
at
as
any
well.
single thing, though. But I feel when you marry the right person, no
Mm,
matter the challenges or no matter the issues that
mm,
occur, there's a way that you'll be able to handle it.
mm,
Marrying the right person is very important.
mm,
There are sometimes that you marry someone and you know that this person is not right for me, even a relationship. But when you marry someone right, no matter how, you're going to fight. But it takes the love that you have each for each other
mm.
and the future that you have for yourself,
That's
and
so
it takes you being able to understand God, being able to study the word, being
true.
able to know that, okay, yes, God has been in this relationship and God can never leave you halfway. So
Mm,
whenever we have issues or we fight, what I do most time is I try as much as possible not to talk. Unlike
mm.
before, that any small thing I'm like, oh, no, no. But now I understand that, okay, Dami, you have to calm down.
You have to be
Then
calm,
most
calm.
times my husband will actually, on his own side, is always praying about anything. Like we ladies, my husband will pray. Before
Ooh.
he says something, he'll be like, God, I don't want this to be a fight between me and my wife. And when he comes out,
Happy
I'm
wife,
like,
happy home, happy life.
just come and tell me now. But along the line, I got to understand that, okay, yeah, because of our first few months that we're always fighting, if he says something, and I'm like, no, babe, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Mm.
But with time now, he doesn't have to pray
Just
before he
there.
comes to meet me and talk.
Yeah.
So it's just God. Let me just say, it has been God all the way.
Yeah, so this takes me back to one of my episodes on singlehood where I said people have to have a relationship with God. You have to be able to pray to God. You have to be close to God because there are certain things
Yeah.
that you won't be able to handle. Like you said, sometimes you just have to learn to be quiet. I also had to learn that. I'm even still learning it on a daily basis. Do you understand? Yeah, so thanks
Mhm.
for sharing that experience with us. Thank you so much. So what would you do differently if you were to rewind the first few months? What do you
I
think
think
you
the
would do
first the
differently?
first few months I would have probably have done is I would have probably talked to God more, because it was after a while that I understood that, okay, fine, I love my husband so much, commitment and everything, but God, I before starting this relationship, it was through God. Like I had to bring God first into it. So when we had our fights and all, I had to remember I didn't run to God. What I did was I talked to people about it.
To
I'm
people
not saying
about
it's a
it.
bad thing to talk about it.
Hmm?
Now, it depends on the kind of people, but it's not everybody that is happy that you're in a
Happily married.
relationship, or you have a home of yourself.
Hmm.
So what I do is I pray to God about it, and I'm like, God, Father, Lord, help me through. And I didn't do this in the beginning of my relationship, my marriage with my husband. So it was pretty difficult. But along the line, if we have issues now, I can't go the next day and I'm still fighting with my husband. It doesn't work that way. But then when I started, I could go like 2 days and I'm not talking to my husband. But now I can't do that, because I feel the Bible even says it itself that we shouldn't take our anger to the next day. So why should I take my anger to the next day? This
Next.
is someone that I am going to sleep beside.
Yeah.
So I pretty wish that in the beginning, but now it's going on well, Sha. I wish in the beginning I actually bought God into it. I started this thing with God. So I have to continue with God.
Continue with
Do you
God.
understand?
Yeah, of course, of course. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's some people think it's cliche when we talk about, we take things to God. They don't know that that is the only thing. That is what is making so many things happen. That is what is helping us to keep so many things like in check. And
So
I'm also glad that you're a millennial like me because people think this is our millennial age. They just want things rush rush. They are not patient. I'm so glad to have a fellow millennial like me, like share that we too are trying to make these things work. And so to encourage
yeah,
the people coming behind us, newly wedded, that you can also make this thing work. and she has shared the most important tip is God. It is God. Having a relationship with Him, it is
So,
key. Thank you so much for that. So any,
yes.
any advice for, people who are planning to get married, or even the
So
singles,
people,
the things that helped
yeah,
you as a single person as you're preparing for marriage? Were there things you
okay.
did, that some people might learn from and the likes? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll always go back to God because God has been so faithful
Thank you,
to us.
thank you, thank you.
God is, when a lot of people hear me talk and I mention God like 1 million times, I tend to tell people that you actually don't know what God has done for you.
Me.
Because if you actually do know, there won't be, you have to mention God in whatever you do. So God has been so faithful. So in your relationship, whatever relationship that you have to put God first in your relationship. It is still God that will lead you through. It is still God that will tell you, okay, Dami, what you're doing is this, what you're doing is that. And for people planning to get married, please take your time. As in, my dear, take your time. I have had a lot of incidents that some people rushed, and at the end of the whole thing, it didn't go well with them.
Mm,
But you have to take your time to understand if you are actually ready for this, if the person you're getting married to is the right person for you, and if the person you're getting married to, God has a say to the marriage. There are times that people don't know. They feel that, everything is going to go well when you enter marriage. My dear sister, it was when they used to say that, this saying that they say marriage is an institution, like when you already have a certificate.
yeah.
That was when I believed that, yes, you already have a certificate, you're just starting it. A lot of things will happen. You will have issues, you would fight.
Mm,
Like, it is going to happen. We can't afford all these things,
yeah.
but it takes the courage and you being able to understand yourself, being able to put love there, and being able to understand that, yes, God has brought you guys together,
Together.
and you being
Yeah.
together, there is no mistake, and for no reason you're not going to regret it.
Like God.
So even when me and my husband fight, I try not to say I regret. I don't regret getting married to him, because I know that there's a reason for this.
Mm,
And one thing for ladies, you have to be able to understand, when you get married, you have to pray for your husband. It is very important. As in, don't do, I'm praying for myself, my husband. You will pray for your husband. If you want things for yourself, if you want a
mm-hmm.
better future for yourself, if you
Yourself.
want things to go well, if you want your husband to make it in life, you have to pray for him. It is very important for you. The moment that you don't pray for him and you feel things are not going on well, my dear sister, you have to check up on yourself. You have to say, okay, what is it that I'm not doing? And it's you, for you to know that you have to pray for your husband. I keep telling people, you pray for your husband. If you want to buy shoe, if you want to buy bag, if you want to change your phone and you want your husband to do it, pray for him to
Pray
make
for
money.
him. Ah, okay,
Let
okay,
him have money
okay.
to buy it for you. Do you understand? So a lot of things that have happened, I tell people that I have a lot of experience, like a lot of things in this my marriage, and I just sit back and I'm like, God, you are faithful. Thank God for marrying this kind of person. Because if not, a lot, as in, I come home late and it's pretty not easy for us to eat. But I have someone that understands me well enough
Mm,
to say, okay, babe, I know you're tired. Okay, let me cook something, or let's go to the kitchen and cook together. We're just 2 years, but that 2 years, I know that the remaining years is going to be awesome.
yeah, it keeps getting better and better, Ni. That's the
It
word
keeps
of God.
getting better and better
That's the word of
every
God.
time. So, my people out there, please, let's learn to put God first. You have to have a close relationship with God. You have to understand that God is important in your life.
Yes,
My dear,
it is.
God is so important in your life.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say for my people out there.
Thank you so much, Dami. And Dami also
Welcome.
has like positive content too on our Facebook pages, Instagram pages as well. So I'm going to leave links to that because I remember there
Okay.
was one of your videos I watched one time, Namale, and it
Yeah,
really
I
stirred up
actually even
something
did
in
a
me.
video. I
Sorry?
did a video. I did a video today, but I'm not yet posted it
Posted
yet.
it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So that
because I
particular
figured
video.
out that sometimes in our marriage and all, a lot of things happen, and despite that, you have to be thankful to God and you have to be grateful to God. That's just the important thing. Thanksgiving is very important,
Oh yes,
and
of course.
this year has been a pretty rough year, but it's still one of my good years, as
Yeah,
I can
it's been a
say.
journey for me myself, and
Yeah,
a year that I'm so thankful for. I'm so thankful to God for it.
yeah, we
Most
just have
definitely.
to, we have
Yeah.
to be
So
thankful
thank
to
you.
God.
Thank you so much for joining me on this
Thank you, baby.
conversation. And like I said, it's actually a preamble to, we're going to have some questions and answer session, and that one will be a
Yeah,
group session. So this is actually like a preamble, like an introduction to, those episodes coming up. So I'm still going to have you here, just letting you know. I'm still going to have you
hey,
on my
baby.
channel. Yeah, so thank you so much for honoring the
You're
invitation.
welcome.
Bitches. I love you so much, girl, and I'm so
Love
proud of you.
you.
And yeah, take care of yourself and be
And
safe,
you too,
okay?
baby.
Yes, and to my viewers, thank you so much for listening, for joining me. Don't forget to leave your questions below. If there are topics you really want us to still trash, leave it below. We're going to attend to it. And until another time on Avila by Grace, take care
Yes, baby.
and be safe. Bye, Dami.
Bye.